Hi guys, and welcome to another video. I've been on holidays, so I haven't posted for the past week, but I've been thinking about all the ideas, numbers and what we can do. So this is the next video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about England and Scotland. So within the UK, the taxation within Scotland and England is different, and there are a few differences between the two. If you live in Scotland, in most cases you will pay more income tax. But how much more? I was actually thinking, if I get a job in England now, if I somehow move to England and live there, how much more money will I have? How does that even work? So here's a spreadsheet, I've already made it. I'm going to go through it line by line, and hopefully I'll give you an understanding of the differences in salaries when working in Scotland and when working in England. So this is a bit of a curiosity topic for me as well, but also I'm hoping it's helpful for you also. Let's start off. We are looking at a salary of £25,000. So you're on potentially minimum wage, normal sort of job, maybe in a supermarket, retail, something like that. You're making £25,000 per year. If you're in England, that's going to be £1,793 per month, assuming you don't have student debt, assuming you're not paying into your pension. Just very easy assumptions, just for direct comparison. In Scotland, you get a couple of pounds more. So at the lower salaries, you get a little bit more money to take home in Scotland. Does it make a difference? Well, over the course of the year, by doing this job in Scotland, you would make an extra £24. So you will be £24 richer at the £25 salary if you were in Scotland. I was trying to have a look, and for that, every year you can buy yourself an extra pair of wireless headphones from Amazon for 20 quid. There's not a massive amount you can buy with that sort of money, but you have a little bit extra in Scotland compared to England. As you then progress, say the salary is now £50,000, so it's maybe a management position or something along those lines, and you go up. Let's reveal the numbers for that. So in England, that corresponds to £3,293. In Scotland, it ends up being £3,166. So as you go up, as you can see, Scotland, you're going to be taking less money home. You're going to be paying more to the Scottish tax system. What difference is that one? Well, that one, at £50,000, you will already feel the difference. Monthly take-home difference is £127. So in England, you'll be £127 per month better off. And over the course of the year, that's £1,524. So again, I was trying to have a look, and with that money, £1,500, you can buy a base level MacBook Pro, which is one of the best machines in my opinion, and that's with an M4 chip and everything else, and good storage, etc. I know this is in dollars, but in pounds it's roughly the same price. So already at £50,000, assuming that the accommodation and everything else is similar, because for example London obviously is unaffordable, but in England you will make an extra £1,500 a month. So if you lived in England versus Scotland, you had similar expenses, you could afford to buy an extra MacBook Pro every single year. Let's now look at 75,000. So maybe you're now more senior management and you've managed to get that sort of salary. What do we have for England and Scotland? England, 4.5, Scotland, 4,331. What does that equate to in terms of difference? Well, actually at 75,000, you have an extra £173 if you work in England. So in England, you're better off at higher salaries. Over the course of the year, that's £2,076. Again, with that, you can afford a top range MacBook Pro every single year. So pretty significant amount of money. 100k, big salary here, but let's just see what happens. So 100k, maybe it's like a doctor or someone doing really, really well. In England, 5.7k, in Scotland, 5.4k. So what is that in terms of difference? That one at 100k, the annual difference is actually £3,300 of take-home pay. That's a big difference. That's almost £300 a month that you're losing by being in Scotland. Quite a big one. So for that one, over 3 grand. I've had a look, and you can actually buy one of those little Citroens, 2017 with 50,000 miles. You can buy that little car every single year with a difference just between England and Scotland. That's crazy, right? But it is what it is. Now let's move up to £150,000. Again, not many jobs have those salaries, but we are just exploring. So let's see. 7.6, 7.1k. So as you can see, the more it goes up, the higher the taxes are in Scotland. It's a bit disproportionate. So in terms of the difference for 150,000, you're actually better off by almost 6,000 per year if you live in England. So at that higher salary, 150k, you're getting an extra £500 a month. I mean, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. I mean, when this was a MacBook Pro or an all-inclusive holiday for a couple of people, this is like a relatively decent car. So I was having a look. For 5,500, you can get a 2018 Nissan Juke. Not everyone's favourite. I'm not a big fan of the car, but it's a reliable, solid car that you can get every single year. So at that salary, you have 6 grand every year. You can do whatever you want with, purely because you live in England. Now let's have a look at 200k as the last salary. Those are the different monthly take-home pay, and the difference is £8,000. So at 200k, you're better off by 8 grand every year. Again, looking at Auto Traders because I'm a car guy. 8 grand, you can get a nice 1 Series, 2017 reg, 62,000 miles, white colour, basic spec, nothing too special. But look at it, there's a BMW, reliable, good car. Quite nice inside, manual gearbox, everything that you can need. A nice, fancy-ish car every single year. So just by being in England, if your expenses are similar, you can buy one of those BMWs every single year just because of the differences in taxation. Literally, it can be at the border. If you live at the border, move down slightly to the England side, and if you're making so much money, you're going to have extra pay. So here's a summary. You're better off at 25k. Anything above that, you'll be paying more tax in Scotland. You'll be taking home less money in Scotland, unfortunately. As I was doing this sort of exercise, trying to figure out what's going on, why that is, it kind of struck me that there's a reason why Scotland tax is higher. And I've put together some points in here just to make you realise that it's not just as simple as Scotland higher tax, England higher tax, Scotland higher tax, England lower tax, move to England, problem solved. There's a lot of benefits that Scotland offers that might be worth that difference. So for example, in Scotland, the dentist is cheaper. I know that myself. Every time I went in England when I lived there, I paid more for all of the treatments. In Scotland, it's more subsidised. So you have cheaper dentists. If you need to get pills, NHS prescription, England has a standard fee for collection or something like that. Quite a small amount of money, but if you keep taking, that can add up. Scotland, it's free. So your prescriptions, you don't have to pay for any collections. If you're an older person, you have more elderly care and support in Scotland. I don't know the details, but from research, that's the thing. By being a resident in Scotland, after a certain amount of time, you qualify for free universities. If you have kids here, they can go to university for free. That's thousands of pounds. A good university can cost 10 grand a year, 5 years, 50 grand. So you might be paying an extra £1,500 in tax for living in Scotland. But your kid might go to university for free and you'll save 50 grand, or they will not have that student loan. Again, something to consider. You have high property ADS, so that's actually a disadvantage for Scotland. ADS is additional dwelling supplement. It's at 8% of the property value in Scotland, and it's less in England. I need to double check what it is, but it's less. And then in Scotland, in the big cities, the council tax on average is less than what it is in English big cities. That's something, again, I've got from ChatGPT, so don't quote me on that 100%, but I think that's true. So those are some of the key points. Of course, Scotland also has nature, peace, and it's just a beautiful country in general, so it might be worth the sacrifice. I don't know. I haven't come up with a conclusion of you definitely Scotland or definitely England. But hopefully with this video you can see at every salary how much you'll be saving or having extra by living in Scotland and England. And then you'll be able to tell, is it worth you potentially moving up to Scotland, getting all the benefits, or coming down to England and getting an extra BMW every year because your salary is so good. So that's just a little analysis. I will post a spreadsheet as always with this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm looking forward to doing more videos like this.